What's up, everyone? It's your favorite neighborhood pirate wolf boy, Silver D Fang, saying, how's it going? Crap. I think I got addicted to Pal World. I was literally playing for like 15 minutes before jumping on here. It's a fun game, and you'll see what I've built by the time Thursday runs around. I've only started it yesterday on Monday, so don't expect much, but yeah. Monday was pretty much just doing little behind the scene business stuff, Pal World. I forget what else I did yesterday. Still working on a couple of side projects. I got a couple of stuff in the work, talking to people. But I think the big thing is, yeah, for sure, this will be the end of Citizen Sleeper. I don't think we have enough content left for that, like, for 3 hours, so I think this is going to be the last one. I've wrote a few times today, like, the end of Citizen Sleeper. I love this game. This game was so much fun. I'm glad that we played it. I'm just glad to move on. It's fun, but it's been a while. Like, I want to play another game. I have a game in mind. Not Pal World. Tuesdays is like single story kind of stuff. Pal World, I have a community. Wrong one. Over here. There we go. But yeah, this is what we're doing. Citizen Sleeper. It's been a fun ride. I mean, there's some some of the stories, some of the characters are really good. I like the whole idea of... I've always been fascinated by the whole, like, post-apocalyptic corporate society, and, like, you gotta fight the power. So this really, hit me where I really enjoy it. But yeah, pretty much, we got Len and Mina's storyline ending today, and we also got the end of, it's gone into so many different places. The refugee... corporate takeover, mystical wave of electricity kind of thing. Like, shit. There's so much. And someone sent me a message. Okay, cool. That's for later and for actual career stuff. I'll look at that later. Okay. Gotta remind myself what we have to do. I'm pretty sure we already agreed that there is no way we're going to get this done in time. But we'll try. Okay. There was something else. No, not that. Sorry guys, it's been a week. I'm trying to remember. Okay. Yeah, since I'm here. Okay, got a couple of thoughts going for my brain. One of them being, let's see if we can sell stuff for money. Nope, I can buy stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just, it's just getting the refugees prepared. Hey, Venom! Did you finish this game? I will. So this game, a lot of stuff is on a timer. So one storyline ending will happen in a turn, and the other storyline ending, which is the big storyline ending, will happen in like 6 turns. So yeah, no, the game's ending today. They just keep coming. Perhaps the flux event scared enough people that they really believe the eye will collapse. Perhaps they are sick of Haven Age, of the council infighting and the hardliners. Or perhaps they just want to take a chance at some new future. A place that is anywhere but here. Whatever it is, evacuees don't stop. They come on the flotilla shuttle on their own ships however they can. You've seen so many faces pass that they are almost meaningless now. A parade of features that seem both familiar and distant. You've been helping people, lifting bags, bringing in supplies, directing them to the berths you help build. Some of them recoil from your touch, still unfamiliar with sleepers. Others treat you with pity, some with hate, snatching back their bags and storming off. Still, you help, you carry boxes and bags, and nothing can stop you. You don't look for Soul, you know he is busy, just like you, trying to make this thing work. Trying to fit as many people as will come onto the Pilgrim Seed. You know you will see him before all this is over. You keep working, but there's something in the back of your mind, something eating away at you. You try to push it to the back of your thoughts, but it keeps coming back. The eye is over. That is the thought. That the eye, even the flux, doesn't get it. Is on its way out. How can it survive when these floods of people are leaving it behind? It's a thought that troubles you because it makes you question why you have held on here so long, in a place that seems so temporary for so many people. Are you just a stubborn idiot, someone who didn't get the message? Or are you strong, committed for lasting the storm, for seeing the collapse coming and facing it head on? Because there is something you are sure of now. This place, like all places, is temporary. And as each phase passes you, each family packs up and gets on board the Pilgrim Seed, it feels ever more temporary, ever more fragile. Which means it either desperately needs protecting, or it desperately needs to be left behind. The choice is yours. And the choice is power. Bow, 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 bow. Not great. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna go get food. Okay, let's get some money, because I could use the money. The one mushroom I don't have. I need one more of those. Okay, that's looking good. I'm not gonna risk it too. So let's go get some food. Yep. I wish there was a multiple save file, but there isn't. Okay. Let's do it! The end of Lem and Mina. Lem and Mina. Probably two of my favorite characters. There is a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. They are waiting at the corridor where Cella's security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem! Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper. We are here. They are standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It is small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity, but then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot! You hand over the Celis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? Looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a shimmering younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security guard. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we're going to be working under the core crew. Kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's need, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange. Something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but it is not you. At least it is not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory that you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms to walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember SNR employee who helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in SNR facility. That won't wake until you are recovered and disposed of. And now you are leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper. Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing to you both to come forward. Yeah, I thought I would beat it last week too, but it turns out there was way more content than I thought. This game loves but wait, there's more. At the beginning of this stream, I tried to quickly explain the final storyline, and it sounds insane. We started out with helping two newcomers help a refugees get food. Then it turned into a detective story of figuring out an electric cloud and its properties and dealing with the Civil War of Three Moons. Then it turned into a corporation takeover. And now it turns out that the electric cloud is being kind of manipulated by the corporation. And we're running against a clock to release a AI that might be able to protect the eye. Yeah, but shit is insane, man. Sleeper, Lem interrupts your thoughts. Oh, and I already read that. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourself on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Caster printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems to be your destiny to be someone else's tool. Lem and Mina are waved through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check you are coming. The guard beckons you closer. Pretty much. Except we're Ultron. So, this is tough because I can kind of meta this. So, Lem and Mina storyline, they desperately want a new life. And they worked hard, but it never mattered about their hard work. It was manipulated. We have connections to a shady dude named Caster. We thought he was just an information nerd, that he just wanted to manipulate us to get information. Turns out he actually works for the corporation that's trying to destroy the eye. So, if I board, I am his puppet, and I don't like that. You wait for a moment. You need to wait for a moment. This is all happening too fast, changing too much. There's so much questions that you have. So many threads to catch, hold up, and yet here you are boarding a ship to who knows where on a journey that will take decades. Is this really what you want? How will you even survive? You suddenly feel dizzy, unsettled. You can make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Mina's eyes looking back at you are so bright in the starlight. No. Nah, I don't hear the James Spader. Maybe James Woods. Sorry, Lemon Mita, but I can't be a puppet, but you should be happy. You can't do it. You can't get on the ship. You turn away quickly, trying not to look at Lem, to look at Mina, to meet their eyes. You turn away and kick off hard, then the guardrail. When you reach far wall, you turn back. The scene continues in front of you as if nothing has changed. The next set of people are boarding. The crowds are still gathered at the cordon. The side rail horizon still blinks, its yellow hull bright against the stars. And there are Lem and Mina gliding up towards the docking bridge, bag in hand. Lem is facing away, focused on the steady climb. But Mina is in his arms and is facing back towards you. You watch her face, confused, sullen, but twinkling with a growing excitement as Lem carries her forward. Yeah, this is their path. This is what they need to do, but this isn't our life. As you watch Mina, you think about your future, about the future you might choose. You know one thing for certain. The future is on the eye. You no longer have any enthusiasm for being carried forward by the dreams of others. Damn right! For grand futures that unfold like angelic wings across the horizon. The future is being made now on this spinning ring among its people and its systems. You are sure of that. But as you watch Mina disappear into the entrance of the sidereal horizon, And much later, when you watch the ship pull away, you feel a sense of longing, a longing to be carried, not by the systems that spin the suns, or the corporations that run the colonies, but by love towards an uncertain future, just as Mina was. That, you think, is the future you wish to make here on Erland's Eye. Left Behind. That's the achievement we just got. So, that's our second ending that we've completed. The first one was with Ankahita and Bliss. Give it a second. And we're back. Motherfucker Caster. A strange choice. Caster stands behind you at the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the side rail horizons drive disappear. But perhaps not unexpected. You turn to look at Caster and it's beaming at you with an unsettling warmth. What do you want? Caster rolls his eyes. Please, Sleeper, we know each other by now. What about the Celis? Caster looks out to the stars. I will do my best to follow its progress, he pauses. The Celis Foundation is of more concern. Sentry Celis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out with their pristine halls. Caster sighs. But I doubt your core politics are of much concern to you. Caster moves down along the rail. The eye, though, that seems to be your primary concern, am I right? It is my home. He smiles broadly. Then we are fellow residents, he seems pleased. This place has been a good home for me. Though, like all places, it has its phases. Do not idle here too long, Sleeper, unless you wish to be once again caught in the movement of system much bigger than yourself. Which we already know is him talking about his bosses. Caster turns and starts to clunk away in his maga boots. Mag boots, not maga boots. That's a different kind of boot. I will be keeping an eye on you, if you don't mind, Sleeper. He waves and he walks. My curiosity remains piqued. Once he leaves, you stay a little longer at the rail watching the stars. Imagine the look on Mina's face when she sees Celis 1 for the first time. Imagine the excitement when she first touches its soil. The joy when she first stands outside in the rain laughing. Those images, though they will not happen for decades, are what will carry you through this cycle and perhaps the next one too. So sweet. People said I took on a lot of weird vocal habits when I was in VC. I believe that. Now I probably sound like James Franco. Honestly, I can hear a little bit of Franco. No option to punch him in the dick, and anarchy is lacking. I don't know. His story's not done yet. We might still get a dick punch. I mean, we did emotional dick punch to a corporate sleaze that was trying to destroy the eye inside out. That was an earlier plot line. No, not you. Actually, before I forget. Yeah, see, we are Ultron. We're a little bit of a clunkier model, but we're still Ultron. Whew. You sit on one corner of the dust house and inspect your work. This dust house, the one where plants from the greenway and some of the steppe species intermingle, has become your favorite. The moss and dust sharing the space in its curving terraces. The pale knots of steppe silk freckled with yellowing Lycos symbiotes. It is a hypnotic arrangement. You look down and see the intertwining of fungal threads of dust-caked roots and feel a little glow of pride at what has been achieved. You look around at the hybrid dust house, at how the steppe silk knots help provide a strong base for fungal and lycal growths, and how the dust mixes with the spores. How the different species of steppe tubers feed the soil with nutrients that help greenway plants thrive. A garden is a kind of legacy, something that will be passed on to those who will come to tend it in times to come. You wonder who that will be. You turn and leave the dust house, cycling through the protective lock back into the cool quiet of the ship. Aki is waiting for you. It's beautiful. She's looking through the observation window and the green reflex in her eye. The plants look happy together. You stand with Aki, gazing over the contents of the dust house, neither of you knowing what to say. You both sense the moment leaving, and that sucks all the oxygen out of the room. So you stand shoulder to shoulder, looking at the ecosystems of her home and your home, entwining and trying to hold on to the moment a little longer. She breaks the silence first, and you realize the moment is over. Are you leaving us? For now. Aki sighs. The first of many goodbyes. She suddenly embraces you, wrapping you in her layers of rough cloth. She pulls back. I wish you steady step and a clear path. She smiles, a farewell from my world. Thank you. She glances away, and before the silence can descend on you both again, she slips into the dust house, cycling the entrance lock. You watch a moment longer as she walks into the ecosystem, crouching to inspect some fruiting bodies, and then you are gone, before the thoughts of escape and home gather once more. Dick Punch in Spades. Just looked it up. No band called Emotional Dick Punch. Really? Nothing like, even from like the 70s or the 90s that only made like one record? Herbaceous. Herbaceous? Oh, herbaceous. I don't think I've ever seen herbaceous spelt out. Sorry, just answering a text. I'm making plans. I'm trying to have a social life. I know, shocking, surprising. I'm surprised that I have one too. Okay, but back to the game. Back to you, lovelies. Must be nice. I mean, if you want, it's a mutual friend that we both know that's back in town from being in the States for a while. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm seeing him on Friday. Boo! I need more food. Goddamn, I'm gonna have to pay, aren't I? Emphas. Yeah, I had a feeling that you guys were still not in good, on good terms, but I wanted to be, what's the word, hopeful. But I do remember the last time you guys talked. I might actually be able to make this in time, which I'm shocked. I didn't think I would. Just shows what can happen when you have good rolls. Sorry guys, just had to write a message to a friend. Okay. Not great rolls. I think I'm actually going to use this to sunbathe. Okay. I hope that goes well with your dad's doctors. 100%, my hopes and feelings. I hope everything goes well with him. Yeah. Don't want to get too much into it on screen, but yeah. I got some really shitty news about some family in hospital today as well. And I literally mean it. All the best wishes to your dad. I think we'll get it. We got it! Docking access is a little more than a shell. Everything that could have been pulled from its interior, every arm not used for docking, has been cut away. What remains is a Spartan void with a patchwork of floating that allows movement. Piles of unusable materials are tucking away in corners. But almost everything has been cleared out. You haven't seen Peter since he last spoke, and now you're realizing that you probably never will. There are plans to be made, escapes to plot, the shadow of Herf to escape. On the cycle of flotilla leaves, these ships will disperse too, the moon of Ember spinning out on different orbits. The chaos has become quiet diligence now, as the time for departure is so near. Crews cross the axis from the ship to ship at speed, bringing supplies or advice, perhaps meeting up to discuss travel vectors in hushed tones, or to debate why they haven't left yet and whether they should. Among these Singer crews, recognizable for their specialized clothing and often shorn heads. I don't know what that means. You see the occasional refugee, a paying passenger, or a replacement engineer or pilot perhaps come from the eye to seek fortune with the Singers. Most of the crews have 2 or 3 of these additions, some more, and you can't help but wish that whatever reason brings them to throw their lot in with the Singer crew, they will have safe passage. You feel a strange attachment to these citizens of the Eye, say it now for the first time. And then one of them catches your eye, crossing an axis with a crew carrying a large bag and a nervous look. Tala, no! Aw, Tala, you just built a bar. Tala, you freeze for a second. What is she doing here? She glances around, feeling your eye on her, and catches your eye. Her face brightens immediately. It's been a while since I've used her voice. Hey! Sleeper! Tala mutters something to her crew and rushes over, dumping the large bag at your feet and embracing you without thinking. Are you leaving? She sheepishly glances at her bag. Sleeper. She pauses. She pauses again, folding her arms defensively. I'm going to the Starward Belt. She waits for your response nervously. Why didn't you say? She sighs. Do you remember me mentioning my family sleeper, my brother? You think back to your garrul blurred conversations in the back of the PT.1. He came here with me, with my family, when we were little, just after we left Cinza. She bites her lip. He left when we were both teenagers, jumped on some spacer crew heading to the Star Wars belt. I'm an idiot. She shakes her head, and I'm going after him. She looks down, not sure what to do. Alone? She looks at you. I guess so. I really don't know if it makes sense or if it's the right thing, but ever since I heard that was where the refugee flotilla was going, well, I couldn't stop thinking about him. What happens to the bar? Someone will have to run it. She leaves a long pause. I mean, I can ask Francis. He'd be happy to. Or one of the others, she blurts out. And of course, if you're leaving with the flotilla or someone else, it'd be totally okay. You wouldn't need to say yes. It's no pressure if it's fine whichever way. I was just thinking. I could run the bar. Tala nods, smiling. I think so. I mean, you can take a second. But she glances at the crew she was walking with, who were chatting a little way away. There's not exactly much time. So considering that, she grabs the key hanging around her neck, the key to the PT.1. Do you want to do it? Yes. Tala leaps forward and embraces you again. Thank you, Sleeper. I couldn't be leaving it in better hands. She pulls the key from around her neck and places it around yours as if presenting a medal. Remember to lock up, especially the back, and remember to empty the still if you are leaving things closer for a few cycles. And she stops herself. I won't be gone forever, of course. She blinks away a tear. I can come back and check in, maybe once I find my brother. She pauses, unable to finish that thought. She smiles at you. You can see the weight lifting off her shoulders. Her eyes already drifting towards the crew, the ship, the next big thing. She's ready. I better be going. She nods at the crew nearby. Not a good start to keep my guys waiting. She lifts a bag onto her shoulder. She looks down the curve of the eye towards the overlook. Thanks again, Sleeper, for everything you helped me with. She nods. I won't have been able to leave if I hadn't made things work here. She adjusts the bag. Dad wouldn't have let me. See you around. She nods. Hope so. Then Tala turns, heading back to the crew, who will carry her to the starboard belt. You watch her go, and despite the departure, it is hard to feel sad about Tala. You know her energy will carry her forward, and you hope her brother is somewhere on the bright path. You hold the key in your hand, the metal still a little warm from Tala's body. You turn it over in your fingers, thinking about how it feels like a tool and burden. You can still lock up and leave, you figure, but now that feel will like breaking something fragile, and if you stay, well, who knows what this little metal promise might grow onto. Hey, we own a bar! And a bar we actually helped build up. I only have one upgrade. There's not much I can do. Okay. Let's go to bed. We're going to be down to 3 dice. Hey, Septi! Bow, 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 bow. How you doing, my friend? I didn't say anything, but you moved on to a new MMO. I forgot what it was, but I know it wasn't Old Republic. What are you playing now? Like the stream says, this will be the final of the Citizen Sleeper. After that, I do know what I'm going to be playing next. I kind of actually already showed a sample of it during G2A Potluck, or Hodgepodge. I don't want to say what it is yet, though, but yeah, I'm excited to play it. Okay, well, I kind of already did everything I wanted to do. So we have 2 extra dice. Let's make money. Okay, I guess that didn't help with money. That just helped with scrap. Meh. Just in case. Just in case I want 5 dice. Let's sleep in here. No. I'm gonna hold it off for a turn. It's early! Peak slate chirps you in your pocket. You take it out. A message. The connection is ready. Meet me at the Founder's Gap. Greenway Slide Peak. You clench your jaw. It's time. I'm going to take my pill. And I'm going to sunbathe. And I'm going to try to get better dice. Okay, that's all turn away. The Greenway? Yeah, no, I know there's an active scene. I just don't know where it is. There it is. We went past it. You find Peak way near where you first met at the entrance of the docking tunnel for the Founder's Ferry. They are leaning beside the wall in the flickering light, and you realize now how different they look from when you first met. There's a darkness around their eyes, a sense of exhaustion to their pose, but also a solidity, a sense of purpose, and self-knowledge. They look concrete, but for what of a better world, solid. Ah, Sleeper. Sleeper! They spot you, a small smile crossing their face. Glad you came. I wouldn't be anywhere else. The smile grows. Crunch time. They shake their head in disbelief. Let's go. The break in the connection is up ahead. They walk away from the docking tunnel into a ragged, half-crushed corridor that descends into darkness. They poke their slate, and a torch flicks on, letting the way in ahead. As you descend through the layers of the broken edge of the eye, Peak talks fill in the silence. I had to hunt all over the part of the eye to find the point where the connection was broken. They run a hand along the buckled metal of the walls, stooping under the angled ceiling. This gap, got knocked in the eye when Soulhelm collapsed. It's impossible to tell who did it, but my guess is they tried to scuttle the eye. If Soulhelm couldn't keep hold of their fancy new station, well, no one could. Peak ducks through a fractured passageway with hanging wires like vines. So this place has always been on borrowed time. I've managed to weave together the old connections and run a new patch down to where the main line still runs through the remaining ribs of the rim. They smile, just like keeping those old XBR platforms running, as she would be proud, if she bothered to help. As Peak goes quiet, the corridor opens into a wider twisting passage with compartments on other side thick with wiring. Here, this is the connection point. You can see where Peak has levered off a panel and hooked up the thick cable to existing hardware. As thick as a tree trunk, it snakes off into the dark head, its yellow ring, making it look like some huge, exotic serpent. You did all this? Peak nods. It was an interesting challenge, plus it helped me keep my mind off things. Peak smiles a weak smile. There's a lot I'd prefer not to think about. You both stand there staring at the point where the new cable meets the old one. The ends separate, fitted with a multi-pin male and female connections embraced inside a metal framework with scissoring mechanism. Bring them together, seal them, and the Greenway will be connected to the rest of the eye for the first time in decades. By the way, that is actually accurate. If you don't know anything about electricity, adapters are considered in male and female connectors. I think it's depending on the prongs. I could be wrong. Peak shifts their weight onto one hip, pushing their hair out of their eye. I feel like this should be more momentous, like there should be some ritual or ceremony. They pause. Or someone should stop us from doing this crazy thing. Are we sure this is right? Peak looks at you with mild panic. Seriously? They laugh. You know what, Sleeper? Just stand back. Peak shakes her head. If it's the flux or this, well then I choose this. They hold both sides of the supporting framework, ready to scissor it close. Here we go. Peak wrenches the framework closed, and the connectors funk together with a sound that echoes down the ruined corridor, into the dark on both sides. Both you and Peak wait with bated breath, unsure what it is you are waiting for. Oops. Do you expect the eye to suddenly stop spinning, or lurking to its axis, for the bar to go out, or a shockwave to run through the corridors of the rim? You meet Peak's eyes, and suddenly they burst out laughing. What are we waiting for? They put a hand to their forehead. I feel like we just planted a tree and are expecting it to burst out of the ground. They shake their head. But you feel it. You feel it flowing like a stream that you had released from a cave and rushes out onto the sunlight, crystalline and clear. You swear you can hear it running in the wires, like water, like rain, like steam. It doesn't roar or rattle, but it rustles and writhes like they're like liquid roots. Peak sees the look in your eyes and stops laughing. You can see it, can't you? You can't see it, not with your eyes at least, but it's everywhere. And now it is out. It can't be put back in, that much is clear. You imagine the rim of the eye like a sponge, like soil soaking up the gardener, and their chorus, the gaps, filling with a burbling, constant growing life. Peak stares at you, waiting for something, anything. Gardener is free. Peak nods slowly and closes their eye. They go to speak, but the words fail them. Suddenly, Peak's slate chirps. They jump and scramble for it, almost dropping it in the process. When they stare at it, a look of confusion crosses their face. What happened? Peak's mouth falls open. It's Esh. They swallow. She's leaving. They look at you with panic. Before you can speak, they have turned away and are moving back up the passageway, back towards the entrance. Stay silent. They don't turn, don't respond, and you watch their silhouette, lit by their slate's torch, disappear rapidly around a corner. You take out the slate Pete gave you and turn on the torch. The wires all around look like pale roots in the harsh light. You turn away from them. They are gardeners now. You work your way back through the corridors, retracing their steps. You imagine Peak panicking, running towards the cordon. Realizing that their greatest fear has come to the pass, you wonder if they will be able to persuade Ash to stay. That thick-headed bitch, probably not. If Ash is going, you think then the flotilla must be leaving too. The thought makes you shiver in the darkness and you push it away. You are not ready. You focus on avoiding the hanging wires, the low ceilings, and make your way back onto the lit corridors of the Founder's Ferry Dock. Castor is waiting for you. He holds up his hands. Now, Sleeper. No need to fear. He raises his eyebrow. I understand now it was a mistake to try to force you, a miscalculation. Stay silent. I won't hold you here, Sleeper. Castor stands to the side, but I wish to speak. Listen. You stop giving Castor his opportunity. Castor nods. At first, I thought that if you'll excuse the turn of phrase, taking possession of your particular talents was the opportunity. He smiles a broad smile. But you are more than that, I understand that now. Your arrival on the station, your ability to touch the networks, this makes you the very definition of a wild card. He touches the rim of his glasses. Stenetstats analysts, my analysts, we could never have accounted for you. This system, the Helion system, is about to experience a significant change. About to open up to Stenetstats bailiffs. Conway's climates and every industry and element in active con channel brings. Yet this very cycle, you let another wild card free. The Gardener. I have to admit, the development makes me afraid, Sleeper. It makes me afraid what an intelligence like this will sacrifice to protect itself, or what atrocities it might commit through madness. And yet, Castor eyes glint, what a compelling object such an intelligence is. Let me protect you, mark you out, keep Senate staff from eliminating by force or illegal expediency you as they will with every other squatter on this ring. Caster clasps their hands together, and in exchange, when Senesec comes for this place, you facilitate the hardware, the handover. You calm the protocols, you give us the gardener. Never. Caster takes off their glasses and polishes them. Disappointing. You begin to leave. As you approach, he speaks quietly in urgent whisper. I do not wish to see you lost. You are of great value. If you ever want to see that, realize. You push past, ignoring him, and his voice fades. The last you see of him is his slow nod. Perhaps a mark of resignation or just another deferential gesture aimed at manipulating your response. It doesn't matter either way, you are done with him. You head towards the Corridon Peak and the flotilla in the forefront of your mind. Yeah, there was no way in hell we were going to take his bait. Remember, this character is set up to be like Wolverine. Oh boy. Before we get to that, actually, I could just go here. I'm just gonna make some money. Okay. Ugh. Sorry. Ugh. All this talking is clogging my throat. My acid reflex is acting up. Whew. You arrive into chaos at the Corridon. The final shuttles are leaving the ramshackle docks that have formed along the edge of the gap during the flotilla's stay. As they do, groups